Alright, I'm going to be going over Telekinesis in Unreal Engine 4. So the first thing we want to do is go into the third person character blueprint and make sure you have the custom event tick. If you have a sequence after, then we're just going to add another pin and drag off that. Otherwise, for now, I'm just going to work off the event tick. Alright, so first we're going to create an actual telekinesis item, so something you can interact with. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new blueprint class, an actor. I'm just going to call it magnetic item. Now that we have the magnetic item, we are actually going to go into the viewport. From here, we're going to add a component. It's going to be a static mesh. And just leave it named static mesh. And I'm also going to add a box collision. Okay, we're then going to make the static mesh. We're going to drag it on top of here and make it the default root. Then we're also going to select a cube as the static mesh. You're actually going to have to scale the hitbox up to become part of the static mesh. We'll just scale it to about twice the size. We'll call that good. Okay, now that we have that set up, we're going to go to the event graph. And here we actually need the event tick. That's what we're messing with. However, first we're going to create a variable. It is going to be of type Boolean, and we're just going to name it is in focus. And it's going to start as false. From the event tick, we're going to drag off to a branch, and the condition is going to be is in focus, so we're going to get it. If it's true, we're just going to leave it blank. If it's false, it's going to set simulate physics, and we want this to be on the static mesh. So we'll clean this up a little bit, and we're going to set it to true. We also wanted to make sure that the simulate physics on start is on. So that's just underneath the physics of the static mesh. And now we're going to add a custom event. We're just going to name this toggle physics. And from here, we're going to drag off. We're going to set simulate physics again on the static mesh. And this time we're going to click on this. We're going to add an input. It is going to be of a Boolean. And we're going to name it is physics. From there, we're going to drag that onto simulate. So whenever we call this, we're going to call it with a true or false, and then it will set that inside the simulate physics. So this should look like this. From here, we're going to go into the third person character blueprint. So just double click on this. From the event tick, we're going to drag off and we're going to create a line trace by channel. So this is going to draw a line from the designated location outwards. And that location, we're going to take the camera's location. We're going to get the world location, and that'll be our start point. The end point will be then get forward vector. We're going to multiply it by a float, and we're going to make that float about 10,000. We're then going to add the vectors together. and that'll be our endpoint. So the start point is the camera. The endpoint is the forward vector times 10,000 plus the world location. So it'll get in front of the camera forwards. To show that, we can go ahead and run the game, and you'll see that line. Okay. From line chase by channel, we are then going to pull out into a sequence. For the 0, we're going to get a branch. And we're actually going to create a variable called isHoldingObject. Compile, and obviously it's going to be set as default. So we're going to get it, and that is going to be our check here. From the branch, if it is true, we're going to cast to magnetic item. From magnetic item, it's going to ask for an object. We'll leave that blank for now. From there, we're going to drag off to set world location. And we want the static mesh. Get rid of that. There we go. And for its location, we're going to do this again. We're going to get the follow camera. We're going to get its world location. We're going to get the forward vector. And add it all together. That's going to be the new location. However, this time, instead of multiplying by this random 10,000 number, because that's going to be very far forward, we're actually going to create a new variable. It is going to be a float. We'll call it teledistance. Let's see how far away the item is from the character. So compile that. We'll set it to about a range of 500. Pull this away. There you go. That is for this first sequence. We still have this empty object. So now we're going to get the out hit result. And we are actually going to type in break hit result. Drop down. So we get all these beautiful options. We're then going to hit actor, and we're going to drag that to the object. For the then one of the sequence, we'll drag it down, and we're going to do another branch. This time, the condition is going to be off the hit actor. We're going to get class, and we want a return value. And they're going to say if it's equal to class, we're going to select the magnetic item we created. And that will be our condition. If it's true, we're not going to do anything. If it's false, we're going to get all actors of class. And then the actor class we're going to choose is the magnetic items. We're then going to make a for loop here, or for each loop. And the array is going to be filled with all the actors from the actor class. For the loop body, we're going to set is in focus for the target, and it's going to be false. Once it's completed, we're going to set is holding object to false as well. Compile that, save it up. We should have no error so far. Now finally, what we want to do is create when the E key is being pressed. So what we're going to do, we're going to type in E. We are then going to search, should be underneath keyboard events, then E. just like that. When it's pressed, we're going to cast to magnetic item again, with once again the object being the hit actor. That is then going to drag off to toggle physics. With the target being the magnetic item there. Actually, before that, we want to set is in focus for the item, then toggle physics. Then we can also set is holding object to true. When the E key is released, we're once again going to cast to magnetic item, with once again the object being the hit actor. From here, we're going to do the opposite of everything above. So set is in focus to false. This in focus should be true. That's my bad. The target once again being the magnetic item. We're going to toggle physics once again. Target being the item. And we want physics to be true. We are then going to is holding object to be false. Compile, save that. We play it. Oh, we need to actually drag the object out. We should be able to create telekinesis. Finally, something else you can do is get mouse wheel down and up. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the telekinesis distance. And when the mouse wheel up is pressed, we're going to do a branch, with the condition being is holding object. But we actually want an and here to check for two things. We're also going to check if telekinesis distance is less than a float. For that float, we'll just say 600. We'll put that into the and. Then we'll take the and into the branch. Clean it up a little bit. There you go. If it's true, we are then going to set the telekinesis distance. So we're going to take the telekinesis distance value, and we're going to add to it a float plus a float. And we'll just add 20. Now we're going to do the opposite down here, where if pressed here, we'll lead to another branch. We'll have the same and here. Same is holding object, so we can copy that over as well. But this time, we're going to make sure telekinesis difference is greater than a float, which we'll have set as 400. If that's true as well. And we're going to once again set the telekinesis distance. But this time, we're going to do float minus float as well. We'll put 20 here. I want to flip the up and down because I had it where up was pushing them away or towards you, and down was pushing them farther away, which is opposite to how most games work. So you wouldn't want the user experience being weird. So now I scroll up, goes farther away, scroll in, come closer to me. And of course I don't want it coming too close to me because eventually it will start to act upon me. So I think I have it coming too close at the moment. So I could just raise that number up. So let's add some comments here. This would be the pull or push objects. This right here would be pressing E to pick up objects. Pick up or drop objects. Two more comments. We could have this right here be checking if object is valid. And the final comment we could put is moving box to in front of player. I guess you could add another here for the drawing hit line. That would encapsulate the rest of this right here. Of course, you wouldn't want the event tick inside of it though, because that could be used for other things. And that is Telekinesis working in Unreal Engine 4. Oh, and you can also turn off that line now, if you still left it on.